Later, chef to the stars Jack Lee is making delicious spring rolls with tangy dipping sauce.
Welcome back, everybody. She is an entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, and the author of Loving on Me. And today she is here sharing how we can be inspired to live fully and get more out of life than just simply going through the motions. Please welcome to our home, Katrina McGee. We're so honored to have you here, Katrina. So just a few years ago, you were a big fancy pants executive at the Susan G. Komen Cancer Foundation, which is such a wonderful foundation. We're so happy. Yes. But it was your dream job, really.
Yes.
And you said something happened that you call a life-interrupted moment that changed everything.
Yes, it was one of those moments in life where you stop and say, what is happening to me? You know, for some of us, it's a divorce, illness, a sudden job change, and that's what it was for me. We were having a very public battle with another women's organization, and it was chaos everywhere. I'm telling you, I was a hot mess. And I'm 44 years old, and I'm suffering for what feel like heart attacks and strokes at the same time. And I had to take a time out. Me, the women's health champion for 2 decades, had to say, stop. This is out of control. And it was during that timeout season where a doctor friend of mine from Zambia, of all places, wrote me and said, you know what, I want you to write this and post it everywhere. I am enough. And I want you to keep saying it until you believe it. And that's how Loving on Me started. And I started a blog, and all these women said, hey, that's my story too. And then I wrote a book about it.
So in that book, there's 12 very important lessons. One of them is the one that you just mentioned, I am enough.
Yes.
The other one is I am unstoppable.
Yeah.
Why are those two so important?
Yeah, those are the beginning
really
and the end of
stuck
the
out
book.
for me, yeah.
I am enough is the most powerful message that I tell anybody. And I don't care how many times I say it, I still find women that I have to say it to and affirm it to, because in every season of our life, there's a war on our self-worth, right? People will say we're too young, we're too old, we're too big, we're too small, we're not qualified, and then we're overqualified. And so you always have this reason to doubt yourself, and you feel like you're on a roller coaster of self-confidence.
Yes.
But there is a way to conquer the chaos, and that is learning to define yourself by who you are and not what you do.
Right.
And once you do that and go through all the steps, you're unstoppable. You are absolutely unstoppable.
So you go from I'm enough to I'm unstoppable.
Yeah.
You graduate to there.
Absolutely.
I like that. Well, Larissa's on her way to graduation.
Yeah, I'm trying. You know, my thing is that I've discovered through a lot of therapy that I always look to the outside for validation. And so it's always, you know, if I feel incomplete, if I don't have a partner or a mate or someone, how do I stop looking at everything outside and really feel it inside?
You know, that's a tough one, because I'm single too, and we all want somebody to share our lives with, right, and to love. And I think I had to get to the point where I said, okay, I can't control when that person comes to me. But what I've discovered from every healthy relationship, etc., is it's when two whole, happy people commit to each other that it's the best. So I started working on me, because I thought that was the way I was going to attract the person. But you know what happened is, once I got to know me and I found these are the things that I'm good at, I started attracting people who had the similar interests, and I just kind of fell in love with me. And so I didn't necessarily look for external validation to be complete. I said, I'm complete in me, and I choose happiness every day now.
Yeah. That's such great advice.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to ask you about, I thought it was ironic that you were in charge of this big women's organization and then another women's organization, and you were having conflict. But that is so true, as we all know as women. I think there's a little bit of almost a pre-programming that, you know, you're almost in competition with each other. And how do you find that you can shift that and turn that around to where, you know, I know with all of us here, we've all gone through different things, and I find that when we all come together, as this group does so often, it's so much more empowering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But how do you switch it, Katrina, to not feel in competition?
Well, you know, the thing is, I have to remind myself often, I'm not competing with you, I'm working to be a better me. And I think when you find women who are in competition, I'm always so sad, because they've embraced like this spirit of lack. When life is so rich and abundant, I mean, there is enough for everyone. The thing to remember is you can only control you. So when you're trying to engage with that person, you're really not trying trying to force them to behave a different way. You are choosing how you can respond instead of react. That way you're always in the driver's seat of the one thing you can control, which is you.
Right. So true. It's not a competition. It's a collaboration.
Absolutely.
Life is so much better as a collaboration. than a
Yeah, it's
competition.
fun.
I know.
Yeah.
But I want to know how you do the balance. You said you took a time out. Does that mean you like left work? And so one part of your life had to take a time out.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm about ready to take a time out. But how do you balance that life life? I'm just like, I don't know what can take a time out right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. What I have learned as a secret is there is no such thing as work-life balance. But if you live according to your priorities, you can be a balanced person. And that's why I am so passionate about women understanding what their priorities are, and men, and learning to live by them. Because the reason we get so overwhelmed is because we're trying to do it all or be it all, but we haven't stopped to define what our all is. Instead, we're up against this pre-prescribed notion of what life should be like.
And what somebody else thinks your life should be like.
Exactly.
Take inventory about what you want your life to be like. And then if you want to take a time out, take your time out.
Absolutely.
It's up to you. So I love that you say we should all wake up every morning and rise, shine, and slay.
Yes.
Explain that.
Yes, this is my absolute passion about helping people get in the driver's seat of their lives and to stay there, so that every day you rise, you have a focus on prioritizing your priorities. You shine from the inside out based on your strengths, gifts, and abilities, and that you celebrate your slay at every opportunity. So my new course on lovingonme.com allows you to do that in a step-by-step process, because it's tough, right? You can't do it overnight. So I kind of baby step people through picking their priorities and curating their inner circles and helping to get in the driver's seat of their own lives.
And it's also hard to do it alone. So it's nice to know that you can go online and there's a community because everybody's feeling the same thing.
Yes.
It's very tough.
You know?
I listen to tapes and stuff, or CDs.
Tapes.
Yes.
Whatever you listen to anymore.
I don't even listen to that. Could be one of your problems. You're listening to tapes.
But regardless, I listen, okay? But when you're just sitting there listening by yourself, sometimes it's hard, and not having other people to like bounce it off of.
Yeah.
It is. That's why I tell people you have to curate your inner circle, because it's so important who you let whisper in your ear. So I love that you all are so collaborative.
Well, we love for you to whisper in our ear. That we love you. You all make sure to pick up Loving on Me, and informational is available at hallmarkchannel.com and Katrina's website.
Wonderful. All right, up next, multi-platinum, Grammy-winning vocal sensation, the Manhattan Transfer.
Is that us?
performer.